Block son, that's my title of nobility. Block son, that's my title of nobility. Block son, that's my title of nobility. Block son, block son, that's my title of nobility. The concrete raised me with all its hostility and everything it knows about forging a man. Block son, that's the whole plan. The block taught me before the teachers ever could. Reading faces, the constant vigilance, the unwritten code that structures how the collective operates in the project at 8 years old. I could read the social calendar or the building better than any class schedule with saddle or the informal knowledge I received was the curriculum or the street. 20 years later in any room, the block of my childhood is working. Reading bodies, reading glances, reading silences, mapping the alliances in the distance in a group of 10. That's the daily work of the sons and daughters of the block. No mystery, just practice since the air of the first years in the courtyard of the building. Block son, that's my title of nobility. The concrete raised me with all its hostility and everything it knows about forging a man. Block son, that's the whole plan. Block son, that's my title of nobility. The concrete raised me with all its hostility and everything it knows about forging a man. Block son, that's the whole plan. They tell us often we come from nothing. False, we come from the forming of the bond. Tight between those who share the same ground, the same stairwell, the same theft of time under the same constraints. The formation of the block sons is painted in the relationships. Solidarity tested by real conditions, proven by years side by side in the heart. The block son knows the neighbor's wall is also his wall. Not by philosophy, by the physical structure of the building where the walls are shared. The culture of the share precedes the thought of the share. We live the collective before we have a word for it. Block son, the collective as the first school. Block son, that's my title of nobility. The concrete raised me with all its hostility and everything it knows about forging a man. Block son, that's the whole plan. Block son, that's my title of nobility. The concrete raised me with all its hostility and everything it knows about forging a man. Block son, that's the whole plan. The block formed me, I claim it whole. No shame in the origin. The job of the MC is to say what's true. Block son, that's true. That's me. That's done. Block son, that's my title of nobility. The concrete raised me with all its hostility and everything it knows about forging a man. Block son, that's the whole plan. Block son, that's the whole plan. Block son, that's the whole plan. Block son, block son. 8 years old, the courtyard, the shared walls. Block son, always. Block son, block son, block son, block son. The microphone check. 1, 2. The craft is in the 1, 2. The syllable lands over it doesn't no one do. Microphone check. Every bar deliberate. Every word earned, nothing counterfeit. The microphone check. 1, 2. The craft is in the 1, 2. The syllable lands over it doesn't no one do. The microphone check. Every bar deliberate. Every word earned, nothing counterfeit. The microphone is the most honest instrument because the playback doesn't negotiate the laws of the tape or the laws of the actual. What you brought is what's on the factual. Recording no revision after the red light. The preparation that's the right given by the work proceed in the booth. I claim the right by the truth of the years in the notebook. 10 years of the daily session, the gears of the craft running every morning before the rest of the day. The store of the built accumulates past the point of the talent alone. The joint venture of the talent and the daily work is the only MC who doesn't shirk. The red light, I walk in prepared. The preparation is declared by every bar that lands on the first tape. Your microphone check. Your microphone check. 1, 2. The craft is in the 1, 2. The syllable lands or it doesn't no one do. The microphone check. Every bar deliberate. Every word earned, nothing counterfeit. Your microphone check. The syllable is the unit, not the line, not the verse. The line is the architecture, the universe of the meaning. The syllable is the brick, the slick delivery that covers the weak. Syllable is the paint on the crack wall. The faint crack opens on the third. Listen, I build that the syllable, the glistening surface is the byproduct of the foundation, not the goal. The patient calibration of the syllable, the beat relationship is the hardest skill and the most grip. When it's built right, the multisyllabic that stays in the pocket is not the acrobatic trick. It's the structural work of the years. The natural sounding is the most built. Microphone check, grounding. Ground microphone check. 1, 2. The craft is in the 1, 2. The syllable lands or it doesn't no one do. The microphone check. Every bar deliberate. Every word earned, nothing counterfeit. The microphone check. The microphone check. The microphone check. Yeah. The red light is on. The tape is running. The 10 years in the notebook are coming through the mic right now. Microphone check, every syllable built, every bar check. Your microphone check, 1, 2. The craft is in the 1, 2. The syllable lands or it doesn't know undo. Your microphone check, every bar deliver it. Every word earned, nothing counterfeit. Check, 10 years, the syllable, the red light, the first take. Microphone check. Check, 10 years, the syllable, the red light, the first take. Microphone check. The microphone check. The microphone check. 94 degrees. 94 degrees. 94 degrees. 94 degrees. The year the temperature hit. The music and the street running parallel. The grit of the golden era at its sharpest. 94 degrees, the hardest. 94 was the year the craft was the credential. Not the deal, not the visual, the exponential. Build up the catalog, improve the investment in the art, the manifestation of the decade of the notebooks. Landing in the rooms, the outlooks of the era were the outlook of the work. Every hook on the radio that year was the 5-year session made. Public, the atmosphere of the golden era is the accumulated. Privately deployed in the dedicated. Release, I was 18 in 94. Taking notes from every record store and every cipher and every conversation at the back of the auditorium. Patient, because patience was the only option available. The adoption of the shortcut wasn't visible yet. The era of the built was the best because the built was the only route. 94 degrees, the proof is in the catalog of that year. Hard, specific, hot. 94 degrees, the year the temperature hit. The music and the street running parallel, the grit of the golden era at its sharpest. 94 degrees, the hardest. The summer of 94, the block ran hot. Everybody with a notebook and a plot to get to the stage, the session, the cipher, the connection, the knife edge of the opportunity was thin, and the committed ran toward it. The den of the era is in the memory of anyone who was 18 and serious. The gun of the ambition was loaded with the years of the work. The fears were real, the talent pool was the deepest it had ever been. The steepest climb of any era. The calibration of the self against the generation was the daily education of the 94 summer. I was one of the floor of the aspirants, the few at the top were the few who never stopped when the floor got crowded. 94 degrees, the loudest summer of the craft. 94 degrees, the year the temperature hit. The music in the street running parallel to grit. Golden era at its sharpest. 94 degrees, the hardest. 30 years later, the summer still lives in the catalog, in the way to give of the era shape every bar since. 94 degrees, the evidence, the hardest year, the clearest standard. 94 degrees. 94 degrees. 94 degrees, the hardest. 18 years old, the notebooks, the cipher, the summer 94 degrees. 94 degrees. Know the ledge, 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 know the ledge. The ones who walking loud, walking wrong. Know the ledge, know the ledge. The ones who walking loud, walking wrong. Know the ledge. The ones who walking loud, yo, know the ledge. You're standing on before you speak. Know the room, know the block, know the week you're in before you come in claiming something. Know the ledge before anything. No, the ones who walking loud, walking wrong. The studied entrance belongs to the strong who don't need the announcement of the arrival. The arrival is the arrival, the survival in any room depends on the red done prior. I've been a student of the acquire. Before you speak methodology, since the block taught me at 14, the clock of the cipher doesn't forgive the uninformed bar. The cipher is the room that lives the scar of the weak entry permanently once the cipher fouls the impression, the tighter subsequent verse fights the first one. The ledge you stand on is the run of the preparation that preceded the room. Know the ledge, the bloom of the reputation is the knowledge of the standing where your feet are is the landing that determines the range of the reach above. Know the ledge, the standing on before you speak. Know the room, know the block, know the week you're in before you come in claiming something. Know the ledge. went to school in the morning and I went to school at night. The formal and the actual, the cool of the classroom couldn't contain the full curriculum. The main education was the additional, the library after full, the conditional application of what the class said to what the block demonstrated. The lock of the two school life was the key to the double fluency, the lecture and the hustle, sharing the same head without displacing each other. The brother who told me I had to choose was wrong. The choosing is the song or the binary thinking, both run both. The classroom and the block, the oath of the double school is the range you move in any room, because the groove of the two educations overlap where the actual world lives. Know the ledge, both ledge, that's what gives. Know the ledge, you're standing on before you speak. Know the room, know the block, know the week. You're in before you come in claiming something. Know the ledge, know the ledge, know the ledge, you're standing on before you speak. Know the room, know the block, know the week. You're in before you come in claiming something. Know the ledge, know the ledge, know the ledge. Every morning I read the room before I speak. Every cipher I hear 2 bars before I seek. The entry, know the ledge, both feet. The informed, the rival, then the heat. Know the ledge, 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 know the ledge. 14, the cipher, the classroom, the block, both feet. Know the ledge, know the ledge, know the ledge, know the ledge. The ones who walking loud, walk involved, 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 involved. The ones who walking loud, walk involved, 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 involved. No safety net.
That's the operating condition. The clarity of the committed, the ignition that only lights when the backup plan is gone.
No safety net.
The work moves on.
That. No safety net.
The work moves on.
The backup plan is the built-in limitation, the percentage of the energy and attention that goes toward maintaining the exit is the percentage the primary doesn't get. I burned the backup in year 2, not recklessly. The view of the primary was clear enough to justify the full investment, to clarify of the no exit is the no distraction. Every hour goes toward the action of the chosen, because there is no other allocation. The cover of the backup plan is the comfortable insurance against the full contract with the primary. Remove the safety net. The primary gets everything, no debt, to the alternative, full investment. No safety net. That's the operating condition. The clarity of the committed, the ignition that only lights when the backup plan is gone. No safety net. The work moves on. No safety net. The work moves on. Yo, the fear is real. I acknowledge the fear. The no safety net decision is the gear. Shifting to the territory where the outcome is binary. The work succeeds or the income has to be rebuilt from the base. The binary is the operating space of the committed, not the comfortable. The binary accountable version of the all-in is the daily weight of the consequence. The gaily romanticized version of the full commitment omits the specific measurement of what failure means in the no-net condition. I carry the measurement as ignition, not as fear but as the specific fuel of the terrific, focused at the net would otherwise dilute. No safety net, the root. No safety net. That's the operating condition. The clarity of the committed, the ignition that only lights when the backup plan is gone. No safety net. The work moves on. No safety net. The work moves on.
Yeah, brass Abalone, bass on 1 kick, hard vinyl snare 2. Brass Abalone, bass on 1 kick, hard vinyl snare 2.
Year 7, still no net. The primary still running. The binary is still the operating, stunning clarity. No safety net. The only plan, no regret. No safety net. That's the operating condition. The clarity of the committed, the ignition that only lights when the backup plan is gone. No safety net. The work moves on. No safety net. The work moves on. No safety net. The work moves on. Yo, when I sing round, hit the pound. Fuck my heart, the mic that's fall down. Jump on our scene, round, hit the pound. Fuck my heart, that right that's fall down. Jump on our scene, round, hit the pound. Fuck my heart, that right that's fall down. Jump on our scene, round, hit the pound. Yo, 60 seconds flat, that's how long it takes to prove. The pen is where I live, the booth is where I move. Through every bar with the precision of the work. 60 seconds flat, nobody gets smirked. Just measure, just assess. I've been building a vocabulary since the 5th grade. Not the academic, the cascade of the internal rhyme structure that holds a bar together at the seams. The folds of the multisyllabics are the architecture of the line, the conjecture that the fast sounding is the deep, built is the truth. The speed of delivery in the booth is the byproduct of the slow construction on the page. The seduction of the cipher is the pressure test of the build. Bring everything you've sealed air through the sessions in the solo work, then hold it in the room. The lurk of the doubt disappears at bar one if the preparation is done. I prepare for the cipher the way the carpenter prepares for the load. The banner of the finish is only as good as the unfinished. Underneath I stood in the cipher for 9 years, 9 years of the notebook. The 60 seconds every time I look across the circle. Same answer, the build holds 60 seconds flat. 60 seconds flat. 60 seconds flat. 60 seconds flat. Yo, the verse is the argument, and the hook is the motion. The bridge is the turn, and the commotion of the whole thing is the feeling underneath the logic. I write from the specific, not the topic. The topic is what the scene reveals when you pull back the frame. The reels of the abstract bore me after the first listen. I want the glistening specific, the name, the address, the year, the Tuesday versus the Friday, the clear detail that makes the listener's ear say, I know exactly what that is. The nearness of the recognizable is the hook of the real. I took that from the book of every MC I respect. The great one's anchor, the universal and the particular banker of the images, the concrete now. I build from the ground up, never down from the abstract. 60 seconds flat, every bar a brick, 16 bricks, that's that. 60 seconds flat, 60 seconds flat. 60 seconds flat. Seconds flat. Seconds flat. The notebook is the lab and the stage is the test. The cipher is the both simultaneously assessed in real time. No revision, no second look. 60 seconds flat. That's the book. 60 seconds flat. 60 seconds flat. 9 years. The notebook. This like 60 seconds flat. The bill holds. Cornable. Cornable. Cornable for corner block, same stage, different walls. The real test is the 5 people who know your flaws and still listen, not the crowd, the 5 who know. Corner booth, the corner, the real show. The session is the corner and the corner is the session. The same performance delivered to the same aggression of the honest audience. Nobody in the booth, the kleps for the almost the truth of the recording is the red light, doesn't negotiate. The take is either there or it's the weight of the insufficient hitting the tape. The corner cipher has the same shape. The circle doesn't pause for the mediocre line. The cipher is the poker table where the hand is played face up. From bar 1 I took the cup of the early losses in both rooms. The booth where the take consumed 3 hours and came out thin. The cipher where the caving in of the bar under the pressure of the live was visible to everyone to grab the lesson. The room is honest, the room always tells you the doom of the self-assessment. Without the room is the comfortable fiction. The bloom of the craft needs the honest feedback. Corner booth, corner booth, corner booth, corner booth, yeah, corner booth, corner booth, corner booth. My engineer runs the board the same way. The cipher runs the circle. The day of the diplomatic feedback ended in year 1. He said this take is done, but the previous one had the pocket. I want the pocket. The specific critique is the rocket fuel of the session. Tell me what's wrong and where it was right. The long adjustment after the specific note is the craft of real time. The coat of the general praise warms nothing. The cold of the specific something to correct is the actual temperature of the growth. I want the something to correct the both of the praise and the corrected take are in the final version. The lake of the session is fed by both tributaries. Corner booth, the complementaries.
Corner booth,
The complimentary.
we right up this every day.
Corner booth,
Corner booth, fuck.
yeah.
Corner booth, fuck.
Corner booth,
Corner booth, fuck.
yeah.
Corner booth,
Corner booth,
corner booth, fuck.
yeah.
Corner booth, fuck.
Corner booth,
Corner booth, fuck.
yeah.
Corner booth, fuck.
Brass stab alone bass. Nah, 1-1 kick hard, vinyl snare 2. The 5 people who know my flaws are the audience. That matters their obedience to the truth over the comfortable is the grade. Corner booth, the corner, the blade of the honest room. Yeah, that's the only school. Corner booth, the corner, the blade of the honest room.
Corner booth,
That's the only school. Corner booth, the corner, the blade of the honest room.
corner booth,
That's the only school. Corner booth, the corner, the blade of the honest room.
corner booth.
That's the only school. Corner booth, the corner, the blade of the honest room. The engineer, the cipher, circle, the 5, the honest room, corner booth.
Corner booth.
Yeah. When you're down, when you're down. When you're down, when you're down. When you're down, when you're down. Yeah.
Between the lines, that's where the actual lies. Not what they said, but what the saying gives. Yeah, a way about what's underneath the said. Between the lines, that's the book I read. That's the book I read. Yo, the education of the attentive is the education of the between, the calibration of the listening to the frequency below the surface, the latency of the actual information in the communication. People tell you more in the hesitation before the answer than in the answer. The karma of the almost dancer who catches themselves before the movement is the real movement. The improvement of the reader of the room comes from the study of the pause, the muddy water of the indirect, the specific look away at the moment of the hook of the conversation I've been reading between the lines since the breeding ground of the block taught me at 12. Nobody says the actual, the shell of the code. It holds everything important between the lines. Is where the actual lives, not what they said, but what the saying gives. A way about what's underneath the set. Between the lines, that's the book I read. That's the book I read. Hey, yeah, my uncle could walk into a room cold and tell you in 4 minutes what the untold story was. Not mystical, methodical. He'd say, watch the chronological of the conversation, or who the first to who first, who speaks to who directly, the worst and best connected person visible in the first 3 minutes of the group, the rehearse. Reading of the room is a practice like any other. He said the block is the mother of this skill because the block requires it daily. The cost of misreading the room on the Bailey of the block is immediate. The classroom has a quiz on Friday. The courtroom of the block has a real-time grade. I read rooms, now the way the trade. My uncle taught me runs, entry, watch, then speak. Between the lines, the technique. Between the lines, it's where the actual lies. Not what they said, but what the saying gives. A way about what's underneath the set. Between the lines, that's the book I've read. That's the book I've read. Between the lines, we're between the lines. I read my daughter silence the same way. The 12-year-old has her own display of the between. I learned it from my uncle. She'll learn it from watching me. The circle between the lines. Between the lines, it's where the actual lies. Not what they said, but what the saying gives. A way about what's underneath the set. Between the lines. daughter watching. My uncle room, the pause between the lines. My daughter watching. My uncle room, the pause between the lines. My daughter watching. My uncle room, the pause between the lines. My daughter watching.
Run the block, not with noise, with press. Run the block, with noise, with press. Run the block, run the block, not with noise, with presence. Run the block, not with noise, with presence. 10 years of the daily is the essence of the territory earned. Run the block. The consistency is the lie.
I've been on this corner longer than the corner store's been open. That's the credential, the spoken word of the block is who was here first and who stayed through the worst. And the average Tuesday simultaneously, the instantaneously arrive can't claim the ground. The slow built presence occupies the guilt of the long tenure. Is the red of the block that takes a decade to seed. At 10 years in, I know the block's respiratory system, the clocks of who moves when, the weather of emotional, the tether of the relationships that hold the 4-block radius together. The radius of the known is the map of the actual, not the factual address. The living network. Run the block, 10 years the groundwork.
Run the block, run the block. Nate Maurice with cousins. Run the block, run norms, presence. Run the block, run the block, run the block, run the block. Not a noise for
the ones who tried to claim the corner loud, left loud. The crowd of the announcement without the work. Clear faster than the quirk of the Tuesday regular who says nothing and is still there to bluff it. Phase the daily stage, I watched it cycle 3 times in 10 years. The recycle of the announced arrival and the quiet exit is the block's most reliable exhibit of the principle. Presence over proclamation. The patient occupation of the ground is the ground owned. I hold the corner in the tone down version of the hold. I show up. Every day I show up, run the block, that's the whole philosophy.
Run the block, run the block, not with noise, with presence. Run the block, run noise, presence. Run the block, run the block, run the block, not with noise, with presence.
Yeah, 10, same corner, same time. The block knows my name, that's the paradigm of the earn not given. Run the block, 10 years of the daily still on the clock.
Run the block, not with noise, with presence. Run the block, run noise, with presence. Run the block, run the block, run the block, not with noise, with presence. 10 years the corner. Every Tuesday. 10 years the corner. Every Tuesday still there. Run the block, block.
What I carry, not the weight, the specific contents. The things passed down before I had the sense to choose what I receive, what I carry. Some of it I keep, some I put down. Worry, what I carry. What I carry. My father carried the walk of the man who built things, the specific stride of the someone whose hands bring the actual into the theoretical daily. The carpenter's walk, the daily assessment of the structural is this sound. Well, this whole, what's the ground? Under this thing I'm about to put weight on. I walk the same walk with weight on. My step is the same as his, I didn't learn it. I absorb it through the years I spent in it. Watching him move through the world as the builder. The assessment is in my eye now. The gilder of the cosmetic doesn't fool me fast, because I learned early what makes the last versus what makes the looks right now. My father's inheritance is the vow of the structural. I carry it in my step, my step, my step, my step, my step, my step. What I carry, my set architecture, my father's inheritance, the vow. What I carry, my set architecture, my father's inheritance, the vow. What I carry, my set architecture, my father's inheritance, the vow. What I carry, what I carry. My mother carried the patient attention of specific listening, the intention of the full presence in the conversation. She never looked away, the patient nation of the listener who holds the full space. For what you're saying is the face of my mother in every room she entered. The room received her, intended back the full story because she invited it. With the quality of the attention I inherited. This unevenly I have the attention in the one-on-one. In the group I drift the undone. Inheritance of the mother's gift is the partial version. In the sun I work on the immersion. In the group her patience was complete. Mine is a draft, what I carry, incomplete. What I carry. my set altitude. Wi-Fi's and heretics, the virus, what I carry. My set altitude. Wi-Fi's inheritance, the virus, what I carry. My set altitude. Wi-Fi's inheritance, the virus, what I carry. 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 I choose what I pass to my daughter deliberately. The structural walk, the patient attention carefully. Also what not to pass, what I carry forward. The conscious inheritance, the steward. What I carry. What I carry. What I carry. The walk, the attention, the partial, the chosen. What I carry forward. What I carry. What I carry. What I carry. What I carry. The ones who stayed on my block when everyone else left. The anchors of community, target length. One is on the stage. The ones who stayed, the block runs on the stage. The ones who made it out and stayed afraid to come back, yeah. The ones who stayed, the block runs on the stage. Yeah. But the beats are stayed. The ones who made it out and stayed afraid. Yeah. The morative of the neighborhood is always written by the ones who left. The smitten memory of the departed shapes the official story of the place, the artificial nostalgia of the successful exit is the dominant text, the explicit voice of the one who stayed is the counter text, the one that lives in the actual vex and vital daily of the neighborhood that continues after the understood version of the place is fixed by the departed. The ones who stayed know what the charted history misses, the block in the Tuesday of the unglamorous, the one day of the maintenance and the mutual support that the block runs on. The ritual of the state is the unglamorous continue. The ones who stay, the block runs on the stage. The ones who made it out and stayed afraid to come on bout. The ones who stay, the block runs on the stage. The ones who stay, the ones who made it out and stayed afraid. Sister Margaret at the church has been there 40 years, a nun in the neighborhood. The gears of the community's safety net running partly through her office. The hardy, specific of her presences. She knows every family's need before the request she goes to the need. The ones who stayed develop the specific intelligence. The envelope of the neighborhood's actual state is readable to the 40-year resident. The credible assessment of the block comes from the state. The advisory of the departed is afraid of the actual. They remember the frozen moment of the ex-Sister Margaret's chosen. 40 years of the continued gives her the full picture as a dude with the knowledge of the live through. The ones who stay, the block runs on the stage. I like the ones who made it out and stayed afraid. Chico Wonder. The ones who stay, the block runs on the stage. The ones who stay, the ones who made it out and stayed afraid. I left at 22, I came back at 34. Sister Margaret was at the door of the church when I returned. She said my name. The ones who stayed remembered I came back different. They made me whole again. Yeah, the ones who stayed. Yeah, the ones who stayed. The ones who stayed. Yeah, the ones who stayed. The ones who stayed. The ones who stayed. Sister Margaret, 40 years, she knew my name, yeah. The ones who stayed, the ones who stayed, come on, yeah, come on, come on. The ones who stayed, come on. Yeah, I wanna hold the space, I make it live and for the homeless space, for the homeless space, yeah. For the homeless space, yeah. For the homeless space, yeah. Yeah.
Show them. The listener, listener, listener. One who holds a space, the holds a space to that listener. Not waiting for the turn to speak, but running the trace. Listener, listener. Yeah, the one who holds the space, the holds the space. Listener, listener, listener. Yeah. I made the decision at 22 to become a listener. Not the passive, not the numb presence that waits for the pause to fill. The active listener, the skill is in the attention. It signals to the speaker that what they saying is received. The seeker of the genuine conversation recognizes the genuine listener. The surprises of the room open to the listener that the talker misses. The minister of the loud takes the room at face value. The listener takes the room at actual value, which is always different from the face. The face of the room is the surface, the space. Below the surface is where the actual room lives. The listener lives below the room, gives everything to the one who holds the space. Tell that, like yo that, like you, the listener, the listener. The one who holds the space, who holds the space. The listener. Yeah, not waiting for the turn to speak, but running the trace. The listener. The one who holds the space, who holds the space. The listener. Yeah. Show that. My grandmother was the listener of the neighborhood. The bench she sat on in the back, y'all understood the weight of the community that rested on it. Through her presence, she didn't solicit the conversation. She received it. People came to a bench and relieved it of what they couldn't carry. She never repeated what she heard. The depleted energy of the overshared in the wrong room was the energy she received and consumed without passing the specific gift of the held confidence is the lift it gives the one who shared it. My grandmother held the neighborhood's weight for 30 years. The gel community around the bench was the community she built by listening. The unity of the block ran through the bench. The listener, the listener. Jawless, yo, the listener, the listener. The one who holds the space, the one who holds the space. Listener, the listener. Yeah, not waiting for the turn to speak, but running the trace. Listener, the listener. The one who holds the space, the one who holds the space. Listener, the listener. Yeah, jawless, yo. I sit in meetings and I listen first. 20 minutes before I speak the thirst of the room to fill the silence with the voice. It's someone else's exercise, my choice is the listen room before the spoken word. The listener, what my grandmother heard. The listener, the listener. The one who holds the space, who holds the space. Listener, the listener. Not waiting for the turn to speak, but running the trace. Listener, the listener. The one who holds the space, who holds the space. Listener, the listener. A bench 30 years, the held confidence 20 minutes before I speak.
The concrete speaks. Concrete speaks through the ones who listen. The block tells stories if the ear's not glisten. Over with the noise of the assume. The concrete speaks, the block exhume. The city writes itself and the people it produces. The specific education of the uses of the street, the compressed curriculum of the daily navigation, the aquarium of the social red that the outer borough delivers at full pressure. The thorough understanding of the room I walk into traces back to the avenue in the to and from of the block at age 12. The self that the city shelved in me before I had the framework. For the abstract is the patchwork foundation of every skill I claim. The concrete spoke, I learned the grammar of the specific pressure, the glamour, free version of the education that the comfortable institution couldn't provide because it didn't have the real stakes to solve of the protected. Learning is the distance from the consequence. The resistance of the concrete education is the consequence. Daily. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. I put the block
in every verse cause the block is the source. Document the stock of my material is the specific Tuesday of the avenue, the one day that accumulates into the years of the form, the gears of the city's influence run through the work. Not as nostalgia as the irk of the accurate that I can't shake because it's true. The fake version of the background is the one without the Tuesday. Everyone has to highlight the Tuesday is the source. The block at noon, the course of the regular day. The concrete, that's what the verse is made of. Complete. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. Every bar points back to the block, the source, the concrete, the clock that ran before the notebook. The concrete speaks, I took the book they gave me, that's the whole catalog. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. The concrete speaks. MA12, the avenue to Tuesday, the concrete, the whole catalog. A12, the avenue to Tuesday, the concrete, the whole catalog. I used to know this block like the back of my hand. Every crack in the sidewalk, every stand of the corner store, every face in the window. I used to know this block, now I don't though. The corner store is a coffee shop, the third one on this block now, the undone. Familiar is visible in the replaced. The barber shop where I got my first fade erased by a boutique selling things I can't price without asking. The church is still there, that's the last thing. Read between the block I knew and the block that's here. The same congregation, the clock of Sunday morning still marking the same hour with the same bells. The tower of the change surrounds the unchanged church like the century kept its purchase on the one thing the economics couldn't convert. The people who go there haven't hurt the trend, they're just older versions of the same families. The excursions of my memory match their faces more than the block. I used to know this block, I used to know this block, yeah. I used to know this block, 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 I used to know this block. I ran into Mr. Patterson at the bus stop. He still lives in the building, the non-stop of his 72 years on the same block. Gives him the full chronology. The clock of the block runs through him. He said the block changed 3 times since you left the thread. Connects them all if you know where to pull. The coffee shop was a laundromat, then a school. Supply store, then empty for 2 years. Now this, he knows the full biography. The bliss of the long resident is the complete record. No nostalgia needed because the second and third chapter are as vivid as the first. Mr. Patterson has the unreversed history of the block in his body. I stood at the bus stop for 40 minutes listening to block in full. I used to know this block, 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 I used to know this block. I used to know this block, I used to know this block, I used to know this block. The block doesn't need my nostalgia to exist, it existed before me, and the gist of it will continue after I used to know this block. Now I know it differently, the flow of the change is still the block. Still home, still home, still home, still home. I used to know this block, I used to know this block, I used to know this block, yeah. I used to know this block, I used to know this block, I used to know this block, Mr. Patterson, 72, yeah, 3 changes, the church still there, still home. Yo. Common ground. It's there if you dig past the surface, past the first impression and the nervous.
Distance or the unfamiliar face. Common ground, it's always in the place. Below the assumed difference. The assumption of the difference is the tax on the connection. The wax of the surface reading is the toll you pay before the actual soul of the other person becomes available. The considerable investment required is the suspension of the first conclusion. The extension of the read past the initial. The ritual of the surface is the handshake of the society. The anxiety of the assumed difference is the handshake held. What comes after the held handshake is the actual, the discovery that the recovery from the first impression often reveals the share, the reveal. Common ground is not the exception. The surface is the exception. The common ground is the rule. Common ground. Yeah. Common ground. Common ground. Yeah. Common ground. My neighbor and I disagreed on everything audible for the first year. The everything of the political, the volume of the music, the schedule of the acoustic, light for the shared wall. Year two, I invited him to the block cookout. The through line of the cookout is the common. Everybody eats, everybody laughs. The streets narrow to the 4-block radius of the shared space and the shared experience of the building. He came, we talked for 3 hours. The same neighborhood, the same age, roughly the same concern for the same block's future. The claim of the difference was the surface. The common ground had always been beneath us. 4 years of neighbors, now we look out for each other. Common ground, common ground, common ground, the common ground requires the dig, not the grand gesture, not the big reconciliation, just the cookout, just the 3 hours. The common ground throughout is always there below the first impression. Common ground. Common ground. Common ground. Common ground. Common. The held handshake, the cookout. 3 hours, 4 years. Common ground.
Store arithmetic, pennies in the way. We're store arithmetic, pennies in the way. We're store arithmetic, pennies in the way. We're store arithmetic, yeah. Corner store arithmetic, pennies in the way. Every transaction got a risk and a rate. Count the change twice, eyes on the door, running the numbers like you never ran before. 6 a.m. the bodega gate, half up, the cat behind the counter pouring coffee in a cup. I seen him do the books on the back of a bag. Every dollar that come in goes against the drag. Rent is due the first, the landlord don't flex. Light bill plus the gas plus the monthly checks. Brother working doubles at the plant upstate. Mother doing nails 6 days. Coming home late, I do the math on the back of a receipt. 40 hours times minimum, don't beat the street. So you calculate the margins on what's available. Every move you make, got to be sustainable. Notebook full of numbers, none of them lie. The block is an equation, figure it or die. Yeah. Corner store arithmetic, with pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, with pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, with pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, yeah. Old head told me, son, the price of everything is either what it costs you or the trouble that it bring. I watched him weigh it out behind the countertop. Every deal he made, he factored in the drop. Detectives rolling by on the regular. The risk adjustment makes the margin irregular. But the knowledge that he carried wasn't criminal. It was economics at the base subliminal. Supply you need, the block is a marketplace. Every corner got a product and a customer base. I took that lesson north and rolled and graduated. The same equation, different variables. decimals updated, but I still do the figures on the back of a sleeve. Corner store arithmetic, that's the gift I receive. Yeah.
Corner store arithmetic, with pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, with pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, with pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, yeah.
Bass bear kick, ayy. All in on the one hat's pulled, snare on two, dry scratch punctuation.
Yeah. Now I'm teaching my son how to count the right way, not the school board version, the one that makes you stay breathing the margin between the yes and the no, the cost of standing still versus the cost to go. He asked me why I keep the notebook by the phone. I tell him every figure that you make you carry home. Respect the calculation, never fudge the sum. The block taught mathematics before the lessons come. Corner store is boarded up, the old man gone, but the numbers that he showed me keep on rolling on.
Corner store arithmetic, my pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, my pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, my pennies in the way. What store arithmetic,
Yeah.
corner store arithmetic, my pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, my pennies in the way. What store arithmetic, my pennies in the way.
Count it, check it, go ahead again. Count it, 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 count it again.
Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct. That means correctly. Step correct. Or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct. That means correctly. I seen cats come through the cypher talking loud, mean mugging at the crowd like the pose alone was gonna carry the verse. First bar hitting the curse of the underprepared, kicked in real fast. Nothing behind the blast of the entrance. I've been watching this for years. The room clears for the genuinely ill, not the dressed up ill. I've been building the skill since before the skill was worth anything to anybody. In the basement with nobody watching, that's where the real gets built. No lights, no guilt to perform, just the bar and the truth. Or whether it's ready or not, step correct, that's all I got to say to every MC. Coming with the noise, the room don't care about the poise. It cares about what happens when you open your mouth. Step correct, north, east, west, south. Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct. That means correctly. Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct. That means correctly. I don't need the cosign from the name on the marquee. The room will tell me if the bar is marquee, a bench warmer. The crowd is the honest jury, and the jury's verdict comes in a hurry when the real hits versus when the average lands. I seen it in the hands of the crowd. They move different for the actual. The contractual between the MC and the listener is simple. Bring the heat, the wrinkle. Under the pressure of the real moment, I've been a component of the session that refused to fold. Every cipher, hot or cold, I step correct. That means I came prepared, I came with the bar that shared something true in the delivery. Step correct, that's the history. Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct, that means correctly. Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct, that means correctly. The ones who last in this are the ones who came correct from day one. The direct line between the work put in and the position held. I never once withheld the effort from the session, thinking I save it for a bigger moment. I gave it every time, like every time was the time. That's not the rhyme of a if a razor do, that's the literal. The peripheral gets cut when you perform below your level. For the small room, every revel in the large room started in the small one. Step correct in the hall before the stage. I've been stepping correct since the hall. Every defect in the delivery got addressed in the work. Step correct, no smirk, no shortcut, no borrowed posture. Step correct, that's the roster. Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct. That means correctly. Step correct, or don't step at all. Step correct. I watched 1,000 MCs fall, trying to walk where they didn't earn the right to be. Step correct. That means correctly. Step correct. That's the only way in.
That's correct. Where the real begins. That's correct. That's the only way in. That's correct. Where the real begin.
Yo. Yeah, no sound. Yo, y'all me the white. Y'all me the night. But if funny, don't want stamens, no the one. Yo, check it out.
It's the foreman's clock, the ticking of the shift, the weight of every morning and the blue collar gift. No go watch for the labor, just the callous on the hand and the dignity you're building, what they never gonna understand.
It's the foreman's clock, the ticking of the shift, the weight of every morning and the blue collar gift. No go watch for the labor, just the callous on the hand and the dignity you're building, what they never gonna understand. My father rise before the city opened up, 6 days out of 7 with his coffee in the cup. He didn't talk about the burden, didn't talk about the pain, just laced his boots and walked out in the wind and in the rain. The foreman's clock was ticking when the rest of us were asleep, a silent kind of promise that he swore to always keep. I watch his hands get harder with the seasons and the years, carved up by the labor but he never showed the fears. My mother pressed his collar every Sunday like a prayer, folding in the patience of a woman who was rare. She never asked for glory and she never asked for fame, just the quiet of the evening and the honor of the name. I carry both of them with me inside each line. I write the foreman's clock, still ticking through the middle of the night. The younger foreman's clock, the ticking of the shift, the weight of every morning and the blue collar gift. No go watch for the labor, just the callous on the hand and the dignity you're building, what they never gonna understand. Foreman's clock, the ticking of the shift, the weight of every morning and the blue collar gift. No go watch for the labor, just the callous on the hand and the dignity you're building, what they never gonna understand.
They always talk about the money and the quick comer, but they never seen a man put 30 years into a cup and hand it to his children like it's all he ever had. A lesson built from sacrifice, the blueprint of a dad. I seen the plant close down and I seen the man go home, carrying the silence like a weight in every bone. They offered up a handshake and they offered up a check, as if a number on a paper could restore the self-respect. But dignity don't live inside the settlement they make, it lives inside the discipline of every choice you take. I seen it in the way he held his head up in the hall when the company was gone and there was nothing left at all. The foreman's clock stopped running but the lesson never did. I pass it to my children like it was passed to me as a kid. Now I'm standing in the morning with my own alarm to beat, building something different but the same from the concrete. Every hour that I put in is a letter to his ghost, a testimony to the worker that I value most. I don't punch no clock on paper but I punch it in my mind, and every bar I finish is a shift I left behind. The city doesn't see us, doesn't count us in the sum of the ones who kept it moving when the easier was to run. But we're the ones still standing when the tallies have been made. The foreman's clock, the soundtrack of the life we played. I etch it in the record so the record doesn't fade. The name of every laborer and every burrow laid. The shift is never over and the work is never done. We clocking every morning underneath the same damn sun.
So the foreman's clock, the ticking of the shift, the weight of every morning and the blue collar gift. Go watch for the labor, just the callous on the hand and the dignity you're building, what they never gonna understand. Foreman's clock, the ticking of the shift, the weight of every morning and the blue collar gift. No go watch for the labor, just the callous on the hand and the dignity you're building, what they never gonna understand. Clock in, clock out, stay solid, yo,
Yeah, yo.
Your pocket full of tokens, head full of rhymes. I've been feeding the machine since the early times. Every turnstile I passed through, I was building the plan. Pocket full of tokens, that's how it began. Your pocket full of tokens, head full of rhymes. I've been feeding the machine since the early times. Every turnstile I passed through, I was building the plan. Pocket full of tokens, that's how it began. I used to ride the 6 train to clear my head and write. End of the line and back again at night. Notebook on my knee, city moving past the glass. Been doing this since before the mass of anybody caring what I had to say. Tokens clinking, pen working fast every day. The rhyme I wrote on Tuesday was the blast that got me in the cypher on a Friday. Nobody handed handed me that. I plotted every bar for months before that moment. The overnight success that nobody mentions. The years before the intentions put in motion on the 6 train, going nowhere specific. I seen cats come to the cipher with the terrific borrowed flow. You could hear the scene. The room never screamed for the assembled and moved for the original. A pocket full of tokens, head full of rhymes. I've been feeding the machine since the early times. Every turnstile I passed through, I was building a plan. A pocket full of tokens, that's how it began. Your pocket full of tokens. I went into the basement, left the borrowed at the door. Dug for what was mine at the core. Had to clear the debris of the influences. First to find the voice, the thirst of the authentic is the hardest one to quench. I sat on the bench of the unready for 2 years before I was ready to steady. Accumulation of the practice is the only path. No shortcut in the math of the develop. You either put the hours in or you perform the hours in front of rooms that know the difference. The 6 train in the kitchen of my mother's apartment with a studio. Pocket full of tokens, head full of rhymes. I've been feeding the machine since the early times. Every turnstile I passed through, I was building a plan. Pocket full of tokens, that's how it began. The pocket full of tokens, head full of rhymes. I've been feeding the machine since the early times. Every turnstile I passed through, I was building a plan. Pocket full of tokens, that's how it began. Now I ride the train and the notebook still comes out. Old habit, no doubt. The method that produced the thing that works. The city still lurks in every corner of the verse I write. The specific platform, like the woman at the end of the car, creasing the page flat. I'm the bars, recorder of the detail that the verse needs. The city bleeds information if you ride it with the open eye. Pocket full of tokens, that's why the rhyme sounds like the city. It came from it. Every bar a token, every verse the benefit. Pocket full of tokens, head full of rhymes. I've been feeding the machine since the early times. Every turnstile I passed through, I was building the plan. Pocket full of tokens, that's how it began. Your pocket full of tokens, the pack full of rhymes. I've been feeding the machine since the early times. Every turnstile I passed through, I was building the plan. Pocket full of tokens, that's how it began. Your pocket full of tokens, the train and the pen. I get off, get back on, ride again. Pocket full of tokens.
Hello, yeah, yellow then, you fear me? We'll take the brown where I like it. Widow, you know we shed the out. Rucker Park in August, an old block showed every MC with something to prove. Came and glowed or crashed in the cypher. No middle ground here. The crowd is the jury. The atmosphere is the sentence delivered in real time. You get 10 seconds into the rhyme before the energy of the room decides your fate. I stepped in and I ate on the practice I put in every morning alone. The specific bar to hone. Approach landing exactly where I wanted it. The crowd's feet moved. I won it before the second bar was done. That's the sum of the work for me in the moment. Rucker Park in August, the component of the real test. Every rep has to pass it. Rucker Park in August, the real gets tested. Rucker Park in August,
Nobody's crested.
the hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August,
Show what you've done.
Rucker Park in
I
August.
seen cats freeze at the cipher mouth. All that practice, all that south. Bronx bedroom energy disappeared the second the crowd appeared and the pressure of the actual kicked in. The discipline of the practice collapses without the spine or the comfortable in the live. You either carry to the live or you don't. I won't front. I froze once at 17. Stood in the cipher mean, mugging the bar. Time for the verse to arrive. And didn't I survive the embarrassment and went back to the basement? That erasement of the ego was the best thing that happened to me.
Rucker Park in August,
The real gets tested.
Rucker Park in August,
And nobody's crested.
the hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August,
Show what you've done.
Rucker Park in August,
The real gets tested.
Rucker Park in August,
And nobody's crested.
the hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August,
Show what you've done. Yo, the park don't care about your tape or your connects. The park only respects what you bring to the circle in real time. Every rhyme graded by the body of the crowd. Did the heads nod? Did the crowd get loud? Or did it land flat? I've been all of that, flat and loud. And both are the education, the Rucker Park summation of who you are as an MC. Is specific, the terrific, and the crash or the same school, different lesson. I'll be back for the next session. Circle forms, I'm stepping to the center. Rucker Park in August, the mentor.
Rucker Park in August,
The real gets tested.
Rucker Park in August,
Nobody's
the
crested.
hill without the moment in the sun. Rucker Park in August,
Show what you've done.
Rucker Park in August,
The real gets tested.
Rucker Park in August,
Nobody's crested.
the hill
sound the city makes. When every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true. It's the frequency of rain, the sound the city makes. When every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true. I used to count the seconds between the lightning and the sound to measure how the distance of the thunder hit the ground. My grandfather said weather was the city speaking plain, so I learned to read the language of the frequency of rain. The block goes quiet different when the heavy drops begin. The performers all go inside and leave the real ones in the skin of the open. In the actual, I'm bothered by the wet. The rain is just the city paying back an honest debt. I seen deals fall apart because the man refused to stand in the open when it rained. Just took his goods and ran. I seen another keep his post with water in his boots, and everybody trusted him because of those same roots. The frequency of rain is how the character gets read. The ones who stay and the ones who seek shelter in they stead. Yo. The city has a different smell in the first minutes of a storm. A brief inhalation before the wet becomes the norm. I catalog each version, the cold, rain, and the warm. The summer afternoon burst in the winter's long form. They each have their own frequency, they each have their own way. The cold rain is the hardest, and the hardest makes the greater the patience of the standing, of the waiting for the clear, because it always clears eventually. That's the lesson here. I seen a block go underwater, seen the families at the door moving what they had upstairs, nothing less or more than the practical. No drama, just the hands at work, helping every neighbor without waiting to be asked first. The frequency of rain reveals the frequency of us, the sound beneath the shelter and beneath the city's fuss. Now the children on the block don't play out in the rain. They screen them in and keep them dry and screen them in again. I wonder what they're losing of the reading that I had. The curriculum or weather that was handed me by daddy. Said the rain don't ask for nothing and it gives you everything. A different kind of clarity that only storms can bring. Come out of the shelter, let the water make its claim, and what remains of you is what deserves your name. I carry that instruction in the bars and in the beat. The frequency of rain is in the rhythm of the street. We're built from what the weather threw at us and what stayed whole. The frequency of rain is just the frequency of soul. It's the frequency of rain, the sound the city makes. When every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true. It's the frequency of rain, the sound the city makes. When every single surface shows the pressure that it takes. The pavement and the people and the building soaking through. The frequency of rain is how the real stays true. Stay out, get wet, let it read you.